Hey, y'all, and welcome to the Raw Industry Podcast. I'm Olivia Thompson, a news reporter and anchor by day and an entertainment host and interviewer by night. This is a platform that highlights the raw elements in all industries, from entertainment to business and everything in between. We cover it all here. As always, we're addressing the common issues, debunking those misconceptions, and uncovering the raw and uncut in every industry with our special guest, who some of you may know, some of you may not, but you don't want to miss out. This is episode 4, the raw and uncut as a public speaker. Now, today's special guest is very, very special for several reasons, and I'll get to that. She's a 25-year-old queen who was born and raised in Dallas, Texas. She's well-versed in the gift for gab arena, just like I am. So I'm really excited to have her on the show today. She has participated in over 20 speaking engagements a year. 20. So obviously we're messing with the pro here, booked and busy. Okay. And she has been tapped into the motivational speaking realm for about 5 years. This woman graduated from North Dallas High School. Shout out to the Bulldogs, I believe. And she's obtained her master's degree by the age of 21, which is a flex in itself. That's a lot of hard work. So I don't like to say aspire to be, but if you're someone who wants to be a motivational speaker, a life coach, get into publishing your own book, this is the woman that you want to know and that you want to talk to. So glad to have her here on the show. Without further ado, I'm pleased to introduce to you a author, certified life coach, public speaker, and the very first woman to have on the Raw Industry Podcast. It is Poka from Poka Speaks. I'm so happy to have you here. Welcome.
Thank you for having me. I'm excited.
Yes.
That's your first woman.
Right?
Okay.
But you're setting the bar.
Okay.
You're going to set the bar. Awesome. So before we get into our full episode, we love to do an icebreaker with our guests. We've done 2 truths and a lie. We've done first 5 things in common. And I think we listen and we don't judge, but I like to do a different one every time. So I can either offer up a game, or if you have any ideas, you can pitch one. I know it's on the spot. Okay. ABC. So this was called the ABC game. Basically what you do is we go back and forth for 30 seconds to see who messes up first. And somebody like Matt could, shout out a subject like cars. And so I'll do, I guess Avalanche, Altima, and we'll just go back and forth A through Z. I also picked that one because you worked with all kinds of ages, including children who should know their ABCs. So clock it. Okay, so let's do that one. How does that sound?
Okay, let's go.
Awesome. Okay, so Matt, you have to come up with it, and then
Lord, any topic
at all. Let me pull up a timer.
Fruit, vegetables, colors, people, cars, TV shows.
Yes. All right. And I'll go first, and we'll go back and forth.
All right, so
I'm nervous.
I put him on the spot too.
Cybertruck.
Huh? Topic.
Wait.
A topic.
Okay, so like
a genre.
A broad topic. Cybertrucks is hard.
Okay.
A color. A flower.
Okay. All right. Let's do.
I feel like you're gonna say something. Oh, hip hop. Like songs?
Yeah.
Song titles.
Okay.
I
don't know song titles.
Right?
I want to start singing lyrics.
Okay, what if we
do lyrics? Is that cool?
That's cool.
Like,
we can do that.
The lyrics start with that letter?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
I like that.
All right.
Okay, you ready?
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna do 30 seconds. Okay, go. A. Ooh, that's hard. What is a lyric to start today? Jeez, that stumped me. Okay, wait. Now I'm thinking of nursery rhymes. I got 10 seconds. I don't know.
A doe, a deer, a female deer.
Yeah, see, you stumped me on that one already. Okay, let's go to B, and then I'll start the timer over. Okay, go.
Okay, I'll go B.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, baby.
Okay, that was quick. Okay, you got me. Okay, it's 1-0 now. Catch up, Olivia. Okay, we're gonna do C. Okay, go. I'm thinking of artists, but no. What starts with a C or a CH? Literally, like I can't think of any. Okay, do D.
D.
She's stumping me, y'all. Okay,
Daddy
wait.
stroke, hit the daddy stroke. I said daddy stroke, but yeah.
Right. Okay. A, B, C, D, E.
You want to pick another icebreaker? We can reuse an old one. Or we can pick.
I like the icebreaker, but the lyrics are hard. The lyrics are hard. Let's do artists. Let's do artists. Okay. All right.
And I ain't got nowhere to be. I cut off my schedule.
Okay, A. Alicia Keys.
Okay. Mine is B. Bow Wow.
Mm-hmm. Okay, C. Shaka Khan.
Diddy.
E for E40.
Freddie.
Okay, G for Glorilla.
We need the alphabet out.
Lay it out, literally.
E.
Mm-hmm. So I did G and then your E.
You did E already. You said E40.
Right. And then I did G.
What's after G? A, B, C, D, E, F, G.
H.
Hip Hop Harry.
I like that show. Okay. Iggy, even though.
Jay-Z.
Okay. Katy Perry.
L.
Mm-hmm.
Lil Romeo.
That's a good one. Mary J. Blige.
Nelly.
I could have said Olivia, but I don't sing. Let's see. Oh, no, not Oprah. She don't sing that I know of.
It was Olivia.
I'll take it. Olivia.
Pee Wee Herman.
Mm-hmm. Q. Is it? I want to say Queen Bee, but that doesn't count.
You close though.
Queen Latifah. She did rap. R.
Rick James. I'm Rick James.
What's her name? Shakira. Maybe T.
T-Pain.
You.
Oh. What's the letter after you?
You too. That counts.
Who is that?
Or Usher. It's a rock band.
Oh. V. Biggie Low.
Wale. X.
XXX.
Okay.
That's all we do.
Tamar Braxton. For T. Tamar
T.
Braxton.
What's that the T? Lord. Oh.
She did X. No, she did X. Oh.
You got Y.
That's true. Yeah. We got to lay out the alphabet.
You got Y? Yeah, you got Y. What's that the Y? Z. You got Y.
Yellow BZ.
Okay.
What's wrong with Yellow BZ? That's a good one.
I'm on one. I love my little entertainment.
That was good. That was good. Them lyrics caught me up, y'all.
No, woo. I need the letters out. Next time, put those up.
Lay them out. The order. Okay, so we did our little icebreaker. Thanks for participating in that. Shout out to all those artists, some who are retired, some who aren't. So let's right. So let's get into the nitty-gritty here. We want to know all about Poka. I know you said that you achieved your bachelor's degree at age 21. That's a flex. Congratulations. What is your master's and your bachelor's in, and where did you go?
They're both in social work. Mm-hmm. I actually went to Texas A&M University of Commerce, now known as East Texas A&M. Mm-hmm. Yes, I did.
Yeah. And so, did you always know you wanted to do social work, or how did that come about?
I knew, well, at first I wanted to be an FBI agent. I was in love with Criminal Minds. I met an FBI agent and they were like, there's an age limit on that, so just do what you want to do. I said, cool. So I decided I wanted to be a child psychologist because my inspiration was to be Reed. Like I wanted to be Reed and just know all the cool facts. So I was reading like date rape drugs, all type of crazy stuff. But then I wanted to be a child psychologist. Going through things, I realized that where I'm from, you're trained not to talk to police officers and social workers,
Mm-hmm.
or you won't even have access to a child psychologist. You have to talk to a social worker,
Right.
even though you're trained not to. So I decided I wanted to do social work, and my mindset was the government is going to pay me to help my people.
Right.
I wanted to do that. I went through college, and all the way up to it was time for me to do internship. I was going to go to CPS, and COVID happened.
Ooh, COVID.
COVID happened, and COVID, I'm not gonna say ruined my life, but it messed up some big plans.
Yeah,
I
it
was supposed
did.
to go do an internship with CPS, go to Dubai, Romania, Costa Rica. Those things already paid for. And God said, yeet. Yeah. So my teacher was happy. She was like, well, it's good because you don't really like rules. So that's probably not the best place for you.
Is that true? You don't like
that's
rules?
definitely true. I'm not saying I don't like rules, but I don't like stupid things.
Right.
And if it doesn't make sense to me, I have a moral obligation not to do it.
Mm-hmm.
So in a way. And so I was like, you know what? I'm going to start my own company. I'm going to do what I want to do, how I want to do it. And that was Poka Speaks.
That's real. Making this space for yourself and not conforming to what's already out there.
And COVID didn't give me a choice.
Yeah. COVID messed up a lot for people. But, a lot was born out of COVID that I'm sure a lot of people couldn't go without, such as TikTok and all the other things.
Definitely.
So, making that pivot, I'm sure it wasn't easy, but from it came your own business. Can you tell me about that?
Yes. So I've been speaking since I was 17. I met a life coach my senior year, which is my junior/senior year. And I was like, somebody going to pay me to tell them what to do? I'm like, all right, bet. Like, I'm going to be a life coach. And I always said that, but that was like a kid telling me they're going to be an astronaut. Like, yeah, okay.
Mm-hmm.
And then I started speaking. So I did my first real public speaking thing, spoken word that was independent in high school. And I did something called I Do It For My People.
Mm-hmm.
And my high school went crazy. And they were like, bro, you're the spokesperson for everything now. Because I was just chilling. Like, I was just trying to graduate. Mm-hmm. So after I did that and I was on stage, I was like, I may can do this. But it never really stuck with me. I got to college and I met this crazy professor. And that man called me to speak every chance he got. Awesome. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to start doing it. So I wound up speaking for free all through college. And after COVID happened, I was like, I got to pay to see me now. Mm-hmm. Like, it's done.
Yeah, put a price on it.
Yeah,
put a price on it. Awesome. And so in those college speaking engagements, what were you talking about?
Whatever came to his mind.
Oh, wow.
I said crazy.
Oh,
whatever
wow.
came to his mind. It was one time where we went, my favorite time speaking in college, mm-hmm. 2 of them. One time we went to Houston for Hurricane Harvey, and we went out there to good homes. And I talked about my experience. I had a very racist encounter, and I talked about how it changed my life, actually. Mm-hmm. And the president of the university got up, and he said, I'm going to pay for all you guys to go to New York. Because I expressed how this changed my life, but I probably won't be able to afford it. And that was the truth. He paid for all of us to go to New York. And then in New York, he was like, oh, Poka, speak.
Go ahead.
So now I'm in New York speaking.
Do your thing.
He calls me A. And I think this is because for him, my name's too long. Mm-hmm. But he's like, hey, get up. So I just started speaking anytime he called on me. And it would be in front of some big people, like Ambassador Andrew Young, people who walk with Martin Luther King, get up and speak on the spot. Whatever he wanted me to talk about. Mm-hmm. I did it.
Awesome. That is amazing. Since 17, getting up and doing public speaking, did you ever have any fears or hesitancies in, will they listen to me? Will they understand me? Will they care what I have to say?
I believe that when speaking, it's always like a little nervous. You're always a little nervous. But I feel like if you're not nervous when speaking, then you are too comfortable in your craft. Like you feel like you just made it and you will trip up.
Yeah, absolutely. I actually really agree with that. Somebody taught me just a few years ago, like, well, when you get comfortable, it's time to move. It's time to pick something different. And a lot of people will get comfortable and they're like, okay, well, it's meant for me. But it's like, you're satisfied now or you're not pushing yourself to the limit. So it's really good that, you made that point that, it's okay to be nervous. If you weren't nervous, probably don't care enough or, whatever the case may be.
When you're comfortable, you're going to be complacent.
Exactly.
That's next door. That's coming next. I promise you.
Yeah. And in figuring out, the lay of the land with public speaking and you decided to finally put a price on it, how did you do that? Because a lot of people struggle with their own businesses, selling their own products and saying, well, I don't want to charge people that much because that's too much, or so and so would charge this, but not me. How do you put a price on your own craft and your own work?
It was a mixture. I can honestly say that it was a mixture. And the mixture of it was, what was it going to cost me and what were they offering me? So when was that my first gig or my second? I think my first gig came out busting with $1,000.
I love it.
So I'm just like, that's the price. That's it.
Mhm.
And just knowing what it cost me to show up. People don't really understand that with public speaking. I throw a lot of my clothes, not throw away, but like I give a lot of my clothes away. I sell a lot of my clothes. Anything you see me wearing, it has a price. You can buy it off of me that very moment because I really can't rewear it again. So I pay for my outfit, my hair, my nails, my lashes. And depending on where you want me at, because I do public speaking, special appearances, I gotta pay for security. So it's 7 people that get paid before I even show up.
Right.
And traveling. So I don't mind living off 50% of what I make, but 50% of it is already gone before I even show up.
Right. And so kind of pressing on that, it's 1,000, it is what it is. Have you ever met anyone that's kind of given you a little backlash on that or wanted to, I guess, devalue or lower how much your craft is?
Honestly, no.
Good.
I have never had a problem getting paid when it came to speaking. Now with life coaching, yes, all the time.
That's a different ball game.
Yeah. Business management, of course.
Mm-hmm.
But speaking, because I know my audience, they're hiring me to speak to kids who they invested their future in. They're hiring me to speak to them, the future. They're hiring me to speak to people they really care about, their employees. So they want to invest in that.
Absolutely. Awesome. Well, I hope the price just keeps going up for you from here on out because, it's definitely worth the investment. And talking about that, you touch a bunch of industries, not just, being an author and a life coach, but also the public speaking. Are there any of the industries that you're in right now that you feel, are a good industry to accredit that, like this is the industry that put me on the map in a sense? Or do they kind of all coincide and work together?
I think they all work together. When it came down to me, people just kind of just expect random things out of me. So when I was in college and I started a nonprofit, it was like, we expect that. Start speaking, we expect that. A book, we expect that. I'm like, okay. I will say a business that really helped me grow with my business management side of things was running a trucking company.
Wow.
I think that made me realize what money was, profit and loss. Because I seen it on a large scale, on a small scale. But seeing it on a large scale kind of changed my life and made me realize that money wasn't everything. I always said that. I always grew up broke. So I knew money wasn't anything. But people to touch thousands of dollars and be unhappy, I seen that. And that helped my clients a lot. Because I'm like, hey, look, that's a big ticket, right? It ain't worth it. And that's a hard conversation to have with somebody that's hungry.
Right. And how do you get through that with them?
Sitting there and really going over numbers. That's on my toughest conversations, but the most rewarding. Like, yes, this is a $30,000. You're going to make that. But how much are we going to spend? And who's going to have to pick your head up when those tears are dropping? Because I have those type of clients that will come to me and be like, bro, we lost. And I'm like, you did, sweetheart. You lost bad. Now, remember when I told you don't do that? No, that's not the time I say it, but it's definitely those like, man, I should have listened. Right. And I'm just like, okay, well, next time we're going to do it right. And that's just something that helped me throughout the management side of things.
Awesome. So as far as your, we kind of talked about education, and I ask every guest this. Some people don't go that route. Some people, are very successful and they don't touch a college campus. They just graduate from high school and they're off to the races. But for some people, it plays a vital role in the rooms and the spaces that they're able to reach. Do you think the education has done that with you? You have a master's degree, and I know that added X amount of years on your track already.
For me, I cannot stand school.
Yeah.
I went to school just to flex. Really, just to tell people like, hey, you can do it too. Like I did it early. And what people told me that I wasn't qualified for college. Nobody wanted me on that college campus. A lot of my achievements came from anger.
Who would dare tell you something like that? Oh my gosh.
It be your own people.
It be your own people. It do. But
that a lot of stuff accomplishment came from anger. Like,
yeah.
Oh, I'm finna make you.
I'm gonna show you
this. Like, so it helped me by saying I got my master's at 21. Because when you walk into these rooms and I'm the youngest, blackest, most educated, you gotta have something to make them feel you. So I'm 21 with a master's degree and 5 years of experience.
Clock it.
Now it's different. Like, hold on, we gotta talk to it a little differently. And that was my point of it, but I never used my social work degree.
Really?
Never. I mean, having a master's is just like, she has a master's, but I never worked a social work job.
Right.
Even in my nonprofit world, I was a business coordinator. I didn't even use it.
Right. Do you think at any point in your life you'll ever lean on those degrees?
I don't know. I mean, I want to have kids. I want to have babies. So, like, if I can sit at home and ask people, like, how does that make you feel? Because the company didn't do whatever, then maybe.
Right.
Hopefully I'm very rich, but
Right. You and me both, girl. Awesome. And, that made me think of a question just kind of regarding like people's posture when speaking to you about anything before they know like, oh, she has a master's, she means business. Our degree shows anybody that you're able to complete something. And a lot of people struggle with that. Why do you think people's posture changes after they know what Poka brings to the table?
We all judge a book by its cover. I mean, that just is what it is. And people say, no, I don't. And I'm like, if your mom was dying, okay, on the table, and they said we have a doctor that went to a community college, or we have a doctor that went to SMU,
right?
And your mom's dead on the table, who are you going to pick?
Right.
You judge a book by its cover. It kind of just is what it is. I think it changes because when they haven't accomplished it, they feel like it's something big. I feel like it's just showing up. Anybody can obtain a degree. Just show up.
I can attest to that. There are days where I had to drag myself to class. I didn't care about what was being taught. I didn't care about the upcoming exam, but like just showing up, sometimes that's how you get the extra credit. They're like, oh, 3 people came to class today. Here are the answers to the test. Showing up.
Show up. Your real experience would do that. Like, did I learn skills in college? Yes. Okay, I did. But nothing will compare to the real life experience I did. You can do that by volunteering. And that's what I tell my clients that don't have a degree. If you want to make it in the industry, go volunteer.
Right.
And they look down. I'm not working for nobody for free. I'm the one person to talk to. I did a lot of my stuff for free. And I'll still reach out and help you for free.
Awesome. That's awesome. And, why do you do that? Why do you put yourself in a position to help someone knowing that they could be paying you?
Because I picked a passion instead of a position. And a lot of people won't do that. So the days of people that make money hate their job, I'm at home loving what I do. And that makes me sleep peacefully. I can get up in the morning. I leave from here. I get up at 4 a.m. I got to drive to Terrell. Why? Because I got to speak to some high school seniors. That's my passion. It doesn't make me cry. Like, I'm excited to do it.
Awesome. Yeah, I think when I get to those, especially I don't work Mondays, thank God, because those are usually the hardest in a work week. But when I get to work and I'm like, oh, I don't really feel like doing this, I lean on the fact that it's not about me and it's my passion. This is something that I prayed for, to be able to do. So, like they say, don't be mad because God put the food on your plate. You prayed for it. So,
oh yes, absolutely,
eat it up. And so, as talking about just the different experiences and industries that you've been in, being a certified life coach, how do I want to say that? I'm sure it's not easy to kind of pour into other people if you're not always at 100%. So how do you do that?
I'm gonna be real. I just cried about this.
Really?
I just cried about this. And I'm like, so I believe in God, and I'm so way more than I look. Like, I believe in God, right?
It's not about how you look; it's what's inside.
She don't believe. Like, girl, this man talks to me.
Yeah.
And I cried about it. I'm like, God, I give out myself to people. I give myself away to people all the time, and I love doing it. But when I lay in my bed, I'm by myself. Nobody holds me. Nobody kisses me. Nobody rubs on me. I'm maybe by myself.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the sucky thing is, it's not the fact that nobody wants to.
Right.
Like, that's not the case.
Right. That's never the case.
Never the case. But it's the fact that God hasn't approved of somebody to do that.
And no matter how you try and push someone in that space, it's not going to work.
If he doesn't approve of it, you're wasting your time.
Right.
And that kind of just made me break down and be like, okay, God, like, whatever. Like, okay, like, cool. Like, am I beat up with you? Like, yeah, a little bit.
I guess.
But it also brought me something back to one of my ex situationships told me. And I'm a weird female, right? So I'm always looking for self-development. And I remember talking to this guy, dating this guy, and I asked every guy the same thing once we're done. And it goes something like, if you were sitting in a bar and I walked in a room and a guy sat next to you, and he said, man, I really like that girl over there, but I need some advice on how to talk to her, what would you tell him?
That's a really good question.
Girl, I'm self-development.
That's a really good question.
Self-development. How did I mess up with you? How could I be better or make me a better woman? Like, I ask these questions because if not you, was going to be somebody. I have desires in my heart. Like, it is what it is.
Right.
And this was 2021. He told me, he was like, I would tell him that he needs to love you because you love everybody else and you just need somebody to just love you for real. I said, bet that.
Wow.
That was hard because at this moment, you're the person I'm thinking,
like, why aren't you following your advice?
But he wasn't approved for me. I was in his life to show him what genuine love was. He never had it, and he told me that.
But isn't that annoying? Like, knowing that you're just playing a role and then somebody else is reaping the benefits?
At this moment, I feel like another soul saved. Like it kind of just is what it is. But whatever is meant for me is meant for me. And, if it ain't meant for me, block it. Yeah. If it's meant for me, bless it. Everybody comes back. That's what I can say.
That's true.
Everybody.
I can agree. And it's kind of like, that one prayer, that one specific prayer that you don't pray unless you mean it. Move the people that don't belong in my life and that, don't have my best interest at heart, move them out of my life and bring the people that do. You blink, everybody's gone. So, I think that really says a lot about, your strength to preserve Poka and get Poka what Poka deserves. So that's really good. I really admire that. Yeah. And, kind of talking about just the nature of how you kind of ebb and flow, bob and weave through being Poka the public speaker and then your everyday conversations. When do you feel like those things overlap? Like, do you find yourself just talking to a friend or a family member and then you're life coaching them?
No, I'm Poka. Every day,
all day,
every single day.
Awesome.
Matter of fact, do you want advice?
I'll take it.
I'm like, are you sure? Are you sure before I answer this question? And it's because they already know. I said I'm born into this. I'm true to this. I'm not new to this.
Right.
And I remember my brother girlfriend. Oh my God, my brother was horrible. My brother girlfriend. I was like 7 or 9, and I'm sitting on the couch, and she's like, "You're gonna be Oprah one day." Because I'm telling her, like, you're stupid, like, you're dumb. And I remember being a little kid telling her that. And I remember her like, the couch we sat on, how it felt in the room. I remember that. I was like, you're stupid. Like, there's no way that man will talk to me. Like, wake up. Stand up.
Stand up, sis.
So I'm definitely me all the time. My cousin will make jokes and she'll be like, so how much do I owe you for this? I love it, though. And I tell people this all the time. Like, I'm going to tell you what you need to hear. And if that ruins our friendship, we never had one.
That's real. That's real.
So it is what it is.
Awesome. So kind of Poka's Poka all the time, 24/7. Take it or leave it.
Definitely take it.
I get that.
I try to filter what I say online because I have like a lot of kids that follow me. But like raw and uncut.
Raw and uncut. This is the place to be. Raw and uncut. So, we kind of touched on who you are, but also let's talk about who you're becoming, because you're always, like you said, seeking self-development and changing. And you just recently got off of a national book tour. Congratulations.
Thank you.
If y'all haven't peeped already, we have some of her work here on display. I'm sure you're going to leave with us ways to purchase these and, tell us about them in partial. But the book tour was national. It just ended, I think, February,
yes,
I believe. So I've never heard of a book tour. I've heard of a tour, but not a book tour. So can you explain to us what this was all about, where the idea came from, and how do you feel it ended once you reached that last location in Houston?
Girl, I can't tell you where it came from. I don't know. I'm pretty sure I was laying in bed and God was like, book tour. I'm like, okay, let's do it. What made it happen was I reached out. I probably emailed over 100 celebrities. I know I did. But me and K Camp been cool for a little minute.
Mm-hmm.
And he had a show, and I always try to support him when he comes to the city when I can. He came to the city. I text him like, hey, I'm going to show up. And I sent him after the show, and I'm like, I'm going to go on book tour. You going to do it with me? He's like, yeah, I'll do it. I'm like, all right, we don't go.
Without question.
We don't go.
I love it.
So at that point, I didn't have nothing set up, and I pulled my tour off in 90 days. And people were like, people with teams and charter buses and security, they don't do that. I was like, I'm not them. Tell them to get up with me.
Right. This is how you do it.
But the purpose was definitely to spread positive nursery rhymes and poems to our youth. A lot of our nursery rhymes, they are evil, they're racist, and our kids really shouldn't be listening to them or repeating them. Mm-hmm. So I redid them. And I made some new ones. And it was just really about being the new Dr. Seuss.
Right.
I want to be the new green eggs and ham.
Mm-hmm. So
I may not have, the fan base of the 20-year-olds, but those 7-year-olds, they know me.
Love that.
Mm-hmm. So I'll be around for a little minute.
Absolutely. And the way the younger generation is, they will hype you up till they're 20 plus and then be teaching it to their kids and their kids. So that's an awesome, chain of events. What's like an example of one of those nursery rhymes that you redid and why that one?
Only really redid one.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm a little teapot. I've never been a teapot before.
Right.
But that nursery rhyme stuck with me because I learned that nursery rhyme in elementary. And I remember singing that one, meeting my best friend in elementary. She's like, well, hey, my name is Lori. I'm like, hi, I'm Alexandria. And it was like, I'm a little teapot. I remember singing that. So I was like, I'm a little black boy, strong and proud. Mm-hmm. And that was just that affirmation part of it. But the ones that really told me you need to make some was, ring around a Rosie. Mm-hmm. She be coming around the mountains when she comes. Those things, any, mini, miny, mo. Mm-hmm. Those things, I'm just like, yeah, let's just leave those where they at.
Right.
Even the ice cream song, I'm so cool on that. Mm-hmm. So, but yeah. Awesome. And then I don't want to get copyrighted, go to jail.
What was the first stop on your book tour, and what was that reaction from the children you got?
Memphis was one of my favorite stops. God is so crazy. Oh, God told me where I was ending my tour. When it came down to my celebrity signing, the last place I knew was where I was starting. And it happened to be Memphis. I didn't know this artist. I got introduced to this artist, loved his music. Mm-hmm. And Memphis just opened me with open arms. They created flyers for us and thank you cards, and the kids were jumping around. The news came out. I'm like, slow down.
I love that.
But it was a beautiful reaction. The teacher was amazing. Mm-hmm. He got on a call I got it done, signed. And it's so much paperwork that people don't talk about. Mm-hmm. And I guess that's the thing. The paperwork will make you want to quit. The paperwork, the people that you're dealing with, just being honest, there's a lot of 20-year-olds in the industry of education right now, and they're not passionate. Yeah. They want their summers off, and they want their 60K, respectfully. So dealing with those type of people is just hi.
Yeah. Gotta do our job. Yeah.
Let me do it for the kids. But that also concerns me because this is our future that we're talking about. And it's not important to you to do what you're supposed to do.
Right.
And it kind of scares me, but it also makes me realize why it's important for me to be in those spaces. Mm-hmm. Showing the kids I care.
Right.
I'm here.
And you do that by making sure that these, rhymes and poems include affirmations, things to encourage them, teach them about certain things. As far as, I know I asked you earlier, I was like, are you a mother? You're like, no, not yet. Mm-hmm. As far as kind of being that person that even young children can look up to, what do you think that younger children are missing right now, other than a very passionate teacher?
The truth? Mm-hmm. Discipline. Now, how you parent your kids is your business. But I got kids that don't play with me. because they know, and I don't have to put my hands on them. I sit down somewhere.
Right.
But they know that. And I have raised other people's kids and been a part of other people's kids' lives.
Mm-hmm.
And that respect is definitely earned. But I think right now we are preparing our kids for a world that we wish we lived in and not the world that we actually live in.
That's true.
I done hired people, I done fired people, I done coached people. I'm letting you know right now, if you walk in with that boy name tattooed on your eyebrow, you're probably not getting the job. So I'm sorry that he's the love of your life. Woohoo.
Woo.
But let's just be real, because I don't want you working in my company doing that.
Right.
That doesn't mean that you won't ever get a job. No. But let's advise our kids on what they're getting themselves into. You're your own person. Do your own thing. But I do you no justice when I don't tell you what you're risking.
Mm-hmm.
And that's our job. I feel like we fail as a society because we're molding them for something that we wish would happen. TikTok, a while back, this girl went viral for wearing shorts for an interview. I said, yeah, why is this a conversation?
Yeah.
Let's set a standard here, okay? No. The answer is no.
Did they say what job it was for?
I don't remember what job it was for. I don't care if it was Six Flags or an ice cream parlor.
Yeah.
When I walked into Domino's, I walked in with a blazer on.
As you should. I do that too, though,
You
because
dress
even
for
if
the
it's a
job that
job
you-
where people are casual, I'm like, well, I'm going to dress up so you know what you're getting. You know?
You dress for the position that you want, not the position you're applying for.
Mhm.
And my manager told me, she's like, I wasn't going to hire you, but the way that you dressed and the way that you carried yourself was cool. But you said you quit your last job for some reason I didn't agree with. I'm like, noted. And every time it's a suit when I walk in the door, that has taken me places. So you can say what you want to. They shouldn't judge for tattoos. It's their company.
Right.
They're going to do what they want to do. And you need to be prepared for that.
Yeah.
So I just feel like discipline. Like I know what pantyhoses are. I know what a slip is.
Mm-hmm.
And I was real big on it in college too. I ran an organization called The Practice in college. And when they walked through the door, my girls really dress up.
Mm-hmm.
Don't walk in my business meeting with open toe shoe on. Do not walk in my business meeting with an open toe shoe on.
Right.
Just come back when you're ready. And they didn't like that. And remind you, I'm 18 years old talking like this. The people that's 20, 25. And they didn't like it at first.
Mm-hmm.
Until it was time for them to pledge. Until it was time for them to go into their job interview. I was like, man, thank you for that.
Right.
It took you 3 years to say thank you, but I'm cool with that. Because you never forget it.
That's awesome. Is the practice still there at, what is it, East Commerce now?
No, I actually snatched the chapter.
No way.
Yeah.
You want to talk about that?
It was laziness. It was
Okay.
laziness. It was excuses all the time.
Mm-hmm.
At that moment, it was called Poka Practice. That's my name.
Right.
So we're going to take it back until we figure this out.
That makes sense.
So it was just cool. So now it's at a national level. And,
Right.
you know, I'm enjoying it where it's at now. Y'all do y'all things. You do your parties, do your thing.
Mhm.
But this is about real service out here. Real lives. So I can't play with it.
Awesome. Being very serious about your craft is important. And, you know, still talking about the book tour, I noticed the phrase from the booth to the books. How did you get the different artists and what different artists did you get to participate in this tour? How did they play a part?
So every artist showed up and they read the books to the kids. I thought it was going to be cool because these are artists. So like, you know, they're animated and they rap. They always, you know,
Right.
doing anything. So I thought it was real cool to show the kids that who you see on TikTok, who you see on BET, who you see on Instagram, they care about you reading. I have walked in a classroom, in a 7th grade classroom, and a little boy didn't know how to spell his name. They didn't know how to use a dictionary.
7th grade.
7th grade. That's
Wow.
a problem. It's a lawsuit going on right now because somebody just graduated, don't know how to read and write. So the people that you look up to, they care about this. So hopefully you start caring about it.
Mhm.
Hopefully you show up to school. So
Do you think more, whether it be an artist, an actor, actress, anything, anybody that's, you know, of a public status that people look up to, do you think that more people should ensue those same values? Learn how to read, it's crazy to even say this out loud right now, but it is what it is. Learn how to read, learn how to write, the fundamentals, instead of just, I guess, creating this facade that this is my lifestyle and this is something you should strive to achieve. Why is it important that they speak up for knowing the basics?
because it's called a top 10% for a reason.
Yeah.
You have a Beyonce. Everybody's not going to be Beyonce. Everybody's not going to be the number one TikToker. It's not enough room.
Mhm.
Okay. And you can try to make it more room, but the paychecks get smaller. So when you deal with regular everyday people, we need those people to survive. When you go into a hospital and somebody's taking your medical examination, for example, I work with the court system a lot.
Mm-hmm.
You get somebody that don't know how to read or don't care about certain things, they make a mistake, they just affected somebody's whole life. Because they put in that you failed a drug test and you really didn't. A checkbox. Because they just don't care. Or they just can't read.
Right.
So I think realizing that you are influencing everyday people,
Mm-hmm.
it's a possibility they never will be that Beyonce. They need to know the fundamentals. And then you have people who may aspire to be Beyonce, may hit that level, and then can't read their contract. So did you even help them at all?
Right.
I feel like it's our duty, like I said, as a society, because you are creating the society that you want to live in. And I say that all the time when I speak. Like, I want my kids to grow up and be around good people. So I'm going to try to make a lot of good people because my kids have to live in this world with y'all.
Awesome. That's great. Who can you attribute to, just kind of on the notion of being a good role model? Everybody should be a good role model for children. I think it's everybody's job to take care of children, even if they're not your own. Like you said, people can raise their kids how they want to, but I feel like as a sane-minded adult, it is people's job to at least be a good role model, a good example. Do you have any role models in any of these industries that you've tapped into that have helped you get to where you're at right now?
The biggest influence I would say is my Mima. I call her Mima. She's in the story
Mm-hmm.
in the children's book. She was a lady who died at 98. She raised over 22 kids, and she only had one. Yeah, she's not blood to me, but she probably changed 90% of my diapers.
Wow.
And cooked probably 85% of my meals. That was cooked. Okay, everything else came out of a box or a bag.
Mm-hmm.
But that lady showed me what having a heart of God was. Like, people stealing her rent money, and she let them still come in the house and lay down.
Ooh.
She cleared out her savings account and them cussing her out. Like, my granny was definitely the person that was like, God got me. It's cool, God got me. My home's not here, it's in heaven. So that kind of just stuck with me. I don't like it all the time, but hey, we here.
Right.
We see another day. But she was that person. She just love with your whole heart.
Mm-hmm.
And even as a woman, because you have to choose. Me, I had to choose to be soft, right? Because you go through so much in life. You can wake up every day with a reason I hate the world. Every day.
Can't let it harden you, though.
You know, and it was times where I was hardened. So just being soft, I had to choose that. And she helped me choose that.
Mm-hmm. What difference do you think that makes in your everyday life, choosing to be soft instead of hardening your heart to the world?
It's an everyday fight.
It is.
It's definitely an everyday fight.
Yeah.
I think it just keeps me prepared for being a wife and a mom. Because I don't want to be disconnected from my kids.
Right.
You get a bad day, let's talk about it. Like, I don't want to be like, man, toughen up. And that's how my mama was. My mama was very like, ugh.
Yeah.
So I want a good, healthy balance with my kids. Like,
Awesome.
let's listen to Marvin Sapp, let's cry this out. And when you get done, tell them a little Boosie, we got this.
The switch up. I got you.
No, seriously.
Well, shout out to me, Mom. So I want to talk about, we talked about one of your biggest role models, and we talked about your book tour, national book tour. Is there potentially a chance that you could be on another one anytime soon?
A national one?
Mm-hmm.
Baby, no.
I know it was a lot of work.
Oh, if I get a sponsor, then yes. But all this was God fed.
Right.
And I actually did this being $100,000 in debt.
Really?
Yeah. So I self-sponsored it. I can see me doing another one, but it's definitely not in the next 6-7 months. Unless a sponsor come by.
Yeah.
And I'll drop it. I'll do it again. Like,
and they could.
The funds, like, let's do it.
Mm-hmm.
But just coming out of pocket between $5 to $10,000 and then dealing with what I had to deal with. Mm-hmm. Yeah, not this year.
Yeah. How are you making your way through that in general? I mean, I'm sure a lot of people are in debt, but is that something that...
I'm not in debt because of me.
Right. Of course.
Yeah. So we're going to leave that where it's at. But I think of the book of Job a lot. Mm-hmm. And I had this little saying, like, God will give you double for your trouble. And he's been working it out. Like, I haven't been stressed about it at all. And my prayer to God was, God, I got myself into it.
Yeah.
Okay? Just help me navigate. out of it.
Right.
And he has. It's been work. Even with the tour, I told myself, like, bro, if you're going to go dead for somebody else, you're going dead for yourself.
Right.
Slot that car, let's go. And that's kind of what it was. I think it was a privilege to have credit available to do it. Never missing a payment. I think that's kind of lit. And like the debt's been falling off.
Awesome.
Yeah, my debt like officially was like stamp. You got debt. Was Thanksgiving. I just like really like, oh, I got debt.
Yeah.
So now we in March and we like 70K down. Like, okay, we good. Like, we lit.
Awesome. Well, looking forward to hearing you say it's all clear soon.
Girl, I'll call you in June.
Awesome. And so also speaking about some more experiences, you have a book, which is also on display here, called Your Daily Ounce of Poka, standing for perseverance, optimism, kismet, and assurance.
Yes.
Can you tell me, how did you come up with that? I love all of those words, and I kind of want to do a deep dive into what they mean to you. Okay. This is different than the children's book, of course. How did this one come about?
So I've been speaking on my platform since 2016, 2017. And I started doing Poka Speaks Wednesdays. So I'll wake up to DMs. My boyfriend hit me. The baby's not mine. She left me. Kind of like that man to be like, you know, my girlfriend 16 years. I'd be like, oh my God. So I just wake up to all type of scenarios. People just come out and reach out to me. He did this to me and blah, blah, blah. So I started speaking on the topics. And what I did was God was like, write a book. I'm like, hold on, God. You know.
Wait a minute. So this is your first?
Yes, my
awesome.
First one. And it was a way for people to have a piece of me without me physically being there all the time. So I prayed and I asked God to take me on a journey for a whole 365 days for me to write words of wisdom to his people for the years to come. So every day I lived a life, and when my day was over, when something happened in that day, I would write something that was advice for somebody else if they lived that same day.
Right.
And that's how the quotes came. So it's 365 quotes, and they're just everything.
Awesome. And so talk to me about perseverance. Where can we see that in the book?
Steady going. It's going to be days you don't pick up the book. It's going to be days you don't feel like going. I didn't have them days. Like, let me just talk to myself because I'm the realest one I know at this point.
Do you crack open the book on your own?
Yes. I would. Awesome. If I had one of them days, yes. I'd probably open about 3-4 times a year. I get tired of hearing myself. Yeah. You know, but
I'm the same way. I don't like rewatching my old stories. I'm like, ooh, I sound like that? Nobody told me.
Yeah. It's weird. It's like cringy. Like,
it is. It's cringy.
I'm going to do SB on Instagram. He started looking at your picture. I'm like, bro.
Do that away from me.
Like, why are you looking at me right now? So, yeah, perseverance. Just keep going. Every day when you open it up, keep going. You're going to learn something. You're going to take something from it.
Yeah. And what about optimism?
Girl, my whole book journey. The way this book has gotten out to people, like all the celebrities, yeah, there ain't nothing but being optimistic. Like, why wouldn't it work out for me?
That's a mind shift that I recently have been experiencing. Is why can't you be happy? Why can't something good happen? Why is it always, well, this could go wrong, this could go wrong, you could mess up on this, you could screw this up? No, like, why could it be good? Why could it be positive? So I think that optimism is, everybody doesn't fall into it easily, and I'm example number one. But once you start thinking optimistically, it's kind of like, oh, well, I can do this. I can do that.
And the people that you have around you. My circle is tight.
Yeah.
Tight. I do not play around.
Is it a big or small circle?
It's a small circle. Small circle.
It typically is.
Real tight. And it's a hate and love that I have for it because everybody expects great things out of me, right? So when I'm sad, when I'm depressed, they're like, hey, call the troops. Like, somebody died. I'm like, nobody died. I just don't feel right today. And they're like, what? You know, because that's just really not me. But what I also didn't realize is if they're expecting it out of you, it's because you produce consistent results, which means things happen for you consistently, and you're putting out first. So if God is in it and he can't fail, how could you fail?
Right.
You can't mess up because God's in it. So I talk to myself. I'm a little gangster when I talk to myself. Everybody's going to be solid. I'm in the mirror like, he in it. You can't fail. That's stupid. Let's go. So it's definitely changing your mindset every day. But the people that's around you will influence you, because if I had a whole bunch of people around me that was like, you can't do that. Like, that's crazy. Like when I told my cousin and my homegirl I was going on tour, they was like, All right, so who's gonna be on it?
Right. No questions asked.
My cousin looking up people like, oh, here you go that email. I said, who email was that? Michelle Obama. I said, girl, who do you think I am? Like, girl, relax. Like,
Michelle Obama.
like, well, what they gonna tell you? Like, you got a point. I'm gonna tell me no. So I wrote the email. Like,
I love
so
that.
having those people, like, it's like, all right, bet. Like, okay, cool, we got it.
Awesome. Definitely having a strong, whether it's family, friends, families, or sister from another mister, whoever, having people in your corner really does make a difference.
You really just need one or two.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if you got more than that, like, you winning for sure, but just one or two. My cousin has been that person since I was a jit. Like, I remember she came, I did a free wash day. I just do stuff. Oh my God. I did a free wash day for my college town where everybody can just come out and wash and dry their clothes for free. A little girl that I worked with, she came to school with her older. I mean, she was with a single father. Like, people make fun of her. So I'm like, we need this, let's do it. And it's only one day, but it's something, And she came out there. She drove an hour and a half, hour 15, and sat with me in a washing area for 8 hours.
For 8 hours.
And she just like, well, this is what you wanted to do. I'm like, man, let's do it.
It is. Cool.
So, yeah.
Awesome. And then two more here. If y'all didn't peep, Poka, Poka, perseverance, optimism. Now we're on Kismet. What does that mean to you?
Kismet is faith.
Mm-hmm.
Just what it say. You gotta have faith in this. Faith without work is dead. So you can think it. I'm gonna manifest this. What have you done? Get up. Stand up. So just having faith. Have faith that your work will work.
Absolutely. And then lastly, assurance. How can we see assurance in your book, Your Daily Ounce of Poka?
Because I left it in God's hands, I feel like some people open it up and they get confirmation. To me, with assurance, I don't care who you are. A little kid, a grown man, I don't care, 75 years old. You need assurance and you need reassurance. And this is more on the reassurance part. Like, it's been times like, should I leave this person alone? And I open my book and it's like, new opportunity. I'm like, all right, yes, cool, let's go. On to the next. So I just think it's more about the reassurance, but definitely just need assurance.
Yeah, awesome. Well, these are two books here that you have. Are there others? Are you working on others right now? Spill the tea.
I am actually working on a book right now. I went to Houston and this little boy walked up to me. He's like, do you have different versions of your book? And I'm like, what you mean? I knew what he meant though. He was like, I was like, what you want to see? Like a, Christmas one? He's like a snow day. So I'm actively writing a book for him. I should be done probably in June, based off what I have going on. And I plan to deliver it to him at school on December 20th, which is his birthday.
Awesome.
So I made a little pledge promise thing. Girl.
The kids will hold you accountable. Like, kids do not play. Like, they'll call you out.
I'm a gangster until a kid asks me for something. And then I'm broke.
Yeah.
Like, oh my gosh. Them kids dig in my pockets.
Yep. That's how it is.
Until you like 18, you can get me. Promise you.
Well, looking forward to seeing that book come out and sharing it with our platforms, supporters here. With these two books, I did want to talk about just the publishing realm, just in general. That entire industry, I know it's changed a lot over the last, I'd say 3 to 5 years.
With Canva and ChatGPT.
Yes, of course. Kind of wanted to touch on that, as well as just the publishing process. A lot of authors don't get through the publishing process because of how many, I guess, kind of roadblocks that they reach, whether it be a design issue or finding a publisher that you can trust, all those different kinds of things. But you know more than I do. What are some roadblocks that you hit on the way to becoming published?
First book, God gave me the cover. Only one printing company in the world does this cover. And God then implemented it in my head, and I have it written out.
Wow.
And I'm like, it's going to pop up. You're going to be able to feel it. Like, man, we don't do that. I'm like, huh? No, we don't do that. So I knew it was God-given when there's only one. I'm like, all right, whatever. And I went to a little situation. All my books are singly wrapped. And when I ordered my second order, now mind you, I'm doing this at 20, 21. Okay? I have no money. I had money back then, but you're still a kid,
Yeah.
So I wound up having to talk to the CEO of this company because they sent me my second shipment of books in stacks in wrap, but it was 5 wrapped. And what happens is the cover gets smudgy if it's not single wrapped. And I'm like, no.
This isn't what I
I'm
asked
like,
for.
no. I said all my books. So that came. A lot of people don't know this, but when I get rich, they can reach out to me. The first 125 copies was missing a page, and the cover was misspelled.
Who caught it? You or someone else?
I caught it. My uncle told me, actually. And I'm like, he's like, so what you gonna do? I'm finna still sell these books like crack in the 80s. I will figure this out next go around. Like they're booked, like they're bought. And they're getting sold. So sorry. That was the first one. With the children's book, my illustrator actually we missed a word. I've only bought 25 though.
That's less of a mishap.
You hear me? So I found that out on a call with 7 different teachers that a word was missing.
Right.
And then my illustrator actually ghosted me when it was time for my tour.
Oh no.
So because it has
did this word change, missing the word, did it change the meaning of a page?
It just didn't make sense.
Okay.
Yeah, like it was like the last poem. It didn't make sense. So I couldn't move on. And I had to re-upload it with the right things. Well, it kept getting a flashback. And my editor, my publisher, my illustrator got it approved the first time. We had hardback and paperback. It was fine. But when he went back there and did the word, they kept flashing it. And I'm like, letting him know, like, hey, I go on tour, big names. Like, I can't afford, like, this. Just start responding. So I had to hire somebody, get somebody to fix it. She's amazing. And it was great. But I'm a real loyal person. So when you do business with me, I want to do business with you forever. That's just how I am. And it broke me up from that quickly. Very quickly. But those are some roadblocks.
Yeah. Those are roadblocks that would have me sitting like, all right now, Lord, am I supposed to be doing this? But I'm glad that you pushed through, because obviously it's helped children of all ages and, you know, people in all different types of, I guess, points of their life. How do you take a missed letter or misspelling or a missed word and still confidently, you know, share your product?
Nobody know what they're doing for real. Nobody. That's why, bro, doctors can kill 20 patients. They're still going to show up for work in the morning. Yep. And it's going to take them years for somebody to catch that. Okay? I'm not better than them, and they're not better than me. A lawyer can lose 100 cases. They're a lawyer. Right. I'm going to misspell a word. I'm still an author. It is what it is. And then I got dyslexia that we never got tested because my mom don't believe in that. But I can tell, like, my B's turn into D's all the time. I'm like, I don't know too much. Like, don't tell nobody. But I mean, it doesn't discredit who I am. That's like me looking at a model and think she's not going to ever trip in some heels. Be for real.
I agree with that, actually. That's I think I have like personally, when I read, I'll mistake a D for a B for a P, but it's not, I don't think it trips me up. Like I guess I don't hone on it. Like I don't focus on, oh, that's strange. I never got checked for it either. But
baby, I will read something and forget that I read it. I would call work. I'm just, you got to catch me on a really good day.
Yeah. But you're still able to, like you said, present your product with confidence, knowing that it's going to affect people in a positive way. And it has, you know, as far as also talking about the publishing process, something that I read recently was that there are up to near 600, near 550-ish amount of books that were banned in this last school year, 2023 to 2024, in Texas at least. And so the book ban is a big, you know, issue in the publishing realm, just because a lot of the books that are being pulled, of course, they include minorities, those that mention LGBTQ, stuff like that. So people that I guess kind of feel that people of color stories aren't worth telling and shouldn't be in school do affect what children are able to read that are in their libraries. Do you have any hopes to have any of your books in school, like in libraries? And, you know, why do you feel that it's important, if at all, to kind of push back on those types of bans?
So when I went on tour, all of the schools I went to, they got books in their libraries. So we made sure we stamped that. Pushing back on the bans, I kind of stay out of that because it's a reason why a book is being banned.
Yeah.
I don't feel like some things should be exposed to kids so early.
Yeah.
That's just me.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, because once you start exposing kids to things, they start testing things.
Right.
And then you look up and she's 13 and pregnant.
Mhm.
Why? Because she read about it. There's certain things they don't need to read that. Why? Because I was in middle school and I picked up a book too. And I had too much I needed to see.
Right.
Okay. So I feel like they can be important bans, but I'm not educated on what's being banned right now.
Yeah.
To even really speak on it.
As far as, I guess, just in general, like with book bans, like you said, there are reasons that books are being banned for whatever reason that is. With your book, why is it important that people see people that look like themselves in a book growing up? Because it's not just like everything is not always about videos and social media and TV shows and film. Seeing yourself in a book is important as a child, no matter what age, and being encouraged is important. Why do you think that that is?
You got to see it to believe it. You got to see it to believe it. Be around it, get involved in it. And I think it's just showing people that they actually belong in a space. You know, when I walk in different places, I love walking into schools in heels and a dress.
Mm-hmm.
And little girls walk up to me, what do you do? And I'm like, I'm a life coach, baby. I'm a motivational speaker. I don't want to be that.
Mm-hmm.
And it's because they've seen it, but you're not seeing me that. Like, no disrespect to Ari. That's who you're seeing on social media.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And she's a wonderful businesswoman. But she always get associated with being a rapper's baby mama.
Right.
You know, so the kids like, in order to have money, in order to wear this, I have to be a rapper. Like, no. You know.
You can create your own path.
Like, there's more ways to do it.
Yeah.
So just showing them it's a different avenue, you know, of it. Now, she's a wonderful, you know, business owner, like I said, and you can always learn something from somebody. But I feel like our youth is kind of stuck to this social media, entertainment, lifestyle. Like, it's so many more things you can do.
Right.
And I think that's really important.
Absolutely. And I wanted to also talk about, as a motivational speaker, you know, I think you said you do up to 20 speaking engagements a year. How do you decide?
I do
more than?
So I signed the contract with the university. So I do motivational speaking for East Texas A&M.
Right.
In a very particular way. But at the end of the day, it's motivational speaking. So that's kind of whatever my schedule allows, because they have about 9 months to use me because of the school. Based off the holidays, breaks is 8. Now, I haven't actually had to turn down a booking.
Why would you turn down a booking?
I haven't had to. So, you know, I don't really get, when it comes down to speaking, I don't really get asked anything that's out of my element. Now, other gigs, I definitely have to turn down them. Like, I get offered to do music videos, and I've been in a few, and I'll take them, but my team has to approve of it. So we have to look at the lyrics. What do you want me to do? What style do you want? Because I'm a chameleon. You know, you can have the straight hair, you can have the curly hair, you can have this, you can have that. So how do you want me to look? What do you want me to do? And what are the lyrics?
Right.
And if those things don't pass, then it's whatever. But when it comes down to speaking, I never had to turn down a speaking engagement, and yeah, I just never had to.
Yeah, that's awesome. As far as, you know, the different kinds of speaking engagements that you've done for the university, which of those would you say have been the most impactful that you can recall off the top of your head?
For the university? They're usually the same. My journey in college, my testimony. If you want help, we're here to help you. You know, you don't have to go to college here for me to answer a question. And that just breaks a lot of ice, because when they see me, they think that I get paid because they sign up. I'm like, that's not how the salary works. But, you know, I wish, because I'm doing numbers. But it's more of like, we're here for you. And if you ever decide to choose, we're more happy to accept you.
Right.
But this is not a cult. You know, and college is not for everybody, and I understand that. So it just be like the willingness to help, and that motive and that angle of things have the youth like, okay, I want to try it, because I'm not forcing it down their throat.
Right.
And that has just worked for me. I would say the most rewarding ones, I went to SAMU High School. I spoke and said, they killed me all day. Oh my God, they sent me all day. Shout out to Miss Gossett. But it was not a little boy, but a young man calling me saying, hey, I got a scholarship that you talked about. Like, it really works. Like, this is real. Like, this really happened to me. I'm like, yeah, baby, it does.
Yeah.
So that came from a speaking engagement, and it was just like, those little comments happen. I will say
Mhm.
every time I go to a high school to speak, a kid will walk up to me and tell me like, I wasn't thinking about college until you spoke to me, and that is the reassurance I get every time I speak.
Awesome. That way, you're in the right place, you're doing the right thing, and it's really affecting people.
Yeah.
As far as I heard you mention earlier, kind of like if my team doesn't sign off on it, and it doesn't make sense, then it just doesn't go. Why is it that you don't say yes to everything? Some people, and I've been a victim of this, are people pleasers, and they just want to say yes, 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 yes all the time. Why is it not okay to do that? What could that do to anybody's brand?
So I have this new quote that I'm living by, and it's everybody want a piece of me but can't bring no peace to me. And my brand is kid friendly. I even try not to cuss. I try. Now don't call me for advice now. That's different. You call my cellular. You call my cellular. It's personal. But it can attach you to the wrong things. So like, no, I'm not gonna be in every music video. You're not gonna be. I will meet my clients where they at. So if they smoking weed and I gotta come talk to you and we in Denver, listen, let's talk about this, blah, blah, blah.
Right.
But it's just not, I don't think it's cool to attach yourself to everything. And I don't let some of my business management clients know that. Like, I would love your services. That's great. But the way that this work is, you want something and I have to agree to it, and then we have a working relationship. If I don't agree to what you're trying to produce, I don't want to be a part of it.
Right.
And it's something that I have to answer to behind closed doors. It's many of my clients, people walk up to me, hey, I heard your boy and I heard your girl. And I got to hear that. So I got to be prepared to hear that.
Right.
So, yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense. I think having a filter on what's okay, what isn't, what matches your brand and what you represent is good. And sometimes I think people gain more respect for you when you are willing to say no to them. And it might not even mess up a business relationship.
And I always give them an option. Like this is not a no forever. Like I don't model for everybody. I'm very particular on them. Like, hey, like I love the work that you're doing. Like you're really getting stuff out there. But if you ever, create something that's a little bit less revealing, I'd be more than happy to model for you. But right now with this, the answer is no.
Yeah.
I'm not doing a lingerie shoot. So no.
I'm not doing a lingerie shoot. Yeah. And that's really good advice. I kind of wanted to touch on.
Fenty calls me.
I was thinking about Fenty. I was like, well, what if
Rihanna, I'm doing a lingerie suit.
Riri.
We're not talking about you.
Riri, you're excluded.
Yeah, it's biggest. Okay, I'll do it.
She has some classy pieces too.
Like, if I gotta do it, I'll do
it. As far as the just as a life coach, I know you said you're a certified life coach. How can you become a certified life coach? I'm sure there's people that are like, okay, well, how do I get into your shoes? How do I get into that?
Being a life coach, you don't need any piece of paper for that. You can wake up and be like, I'm a life coach. And if they trust you with their life, do it.
Right.
My education, I do want to say help with that because we learned a lot of case management. I went to UNC for my paper to say I'm a certified life coach. I mean, it's really that your clients trust you. That's going to determine if you're a life coach or not. Same thing with rappers. We're going to see if you're a rapper. Who's going to listen to it?
Right.
Your clientele kind of just tell you how good you are.
Right. And when I guess when you took on your first true client as a life coach, how did you know, okay, yes, I'm supposed to be doing this?
You know what? I don't think I remember my first client.
No way.
I don't think I do. I'm so serious, and that's so crazy because now I'm gonna have to look for it.
Do you have a lot of clients right now, or what would you say?
My clients have changed from a lot of personal one-on-one clients to group sessions. I do substance abuse counseling.
Oh, awesome.
Thank you. So I have a lot of group sessions, and then my one-on-ones, they're here and there. Like people will book a session, but a lot of it is in business management. So mobile bar, artist management, trucking, still. They want me to do more, like make my business better, make sure I'm doing right. And I'm like, okay.
Awesome. As far as the, with every industry that you're in, which is a ton, how do you have time for yourself?
The right person call me, I'll make some time. The right person call me, I'll make some time. I think procrastination is success biggest enemy.
Mm-hmm.
So I try to just make sure I just do everything I can.
Yeah.
As soon as I get it done. You know, when I walk in the house, I learned this from a girl in one of my counseling classes. And she was like, every time I walk in the house, I really just try to do something. Like, take them clothes out the dryer, girl. Like,
ooh, that's my bad habit right now.
My
it's
clothes
clean
in my dryer.
Yeah.
Right now.
Right now. Same. I
So-
don't know why I hate that so much. It's clean, but I don't want to put them away.
Because why?
Yeah.
Make another
Get somebody else to do it.
But it's just when I walk into the house, I try to make sure that I do something when I get there. Like, don't just shut down, just do something.
Right.
Dating for me is a little weird now, but I try to go on dates and stuff like that. It's time wasted, but I mean, whatever.
Not forever. It won't be forever.
So it's all right.
Yeah.
But yeah, I have fun.
Mm-hmm.
I do random stuff all the time.
Yeah.
So I think I have a really good balance.
Awesome. In keeping that balance, is there anything that you wish you had more time to do right now? Like any personal hobbies outside of writing and whatnot?
I want to really keep the Sabbath.
Mm-hmm.
People who don't know, the Sabbath is a Saturday, and you're not supposed to work on a Sabbath. So if money was where I needed to be, and I had things in place like I want, I would spend my Sabbath in like Spa Castle, and the phone's off, and I don't see you. I'm naked somewhere in the pool.
Right.
That's how I would really want to keep my Sabbath.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know anything about it. I'm learning, but yeah. Well,
see, that's interesting because I always thought it was you're not supposed to work on Sunday, but it's Saturday.
Yeah.
Okay, because I always
Saturday's the holy day.
Okay, exactly. Because I took Sunday as like the day of rest. I don't give my Sundays up to anyone for anything work related, at least, unless it's really important.
Girl, you
but
call me on a Sunday, I'm answering. Where you at? What
yeah,
you need something? I don't really care, but I'm like that though. Like I'm the friend that you call at 3:00 in the morning because you got a flat tire. Like I'm not the person like don't wake up out her sleep. Like girl, no, I'll wake up just like this.
Right.
But what's up?
So that's a good friend though. That's a good friend. Somebody that you can really depend on. As far as, people who have been the most supportive in your recent work, how do you build, because we talk about different industries a lot, but maybe not how to build the network. Do you feel like you have a strong network of other motivational speakers, authors and whatnot, or are you kind of your biggest advocate right now?
People weird. I just try to keep weird stuff away from me because, another quote, inspiration turned into envy real quick. And the same people that's cheering you on, they don't like it when you win. And one thing about me, you're going to get tired of clapping for me. I would get tired of clapping for me. Sometimes I do get tired of clapping for me. It's just another day winning. But if your hands get tired, we don't need you on the bench. We need you in the bleachers. And that's okay. So no, I don't hang around other authors really. I don't hang around other motivational speakers. I don't hang around other life coaches. I'm not against it, but I move fast.
Right.
I move fast. I remember talking to this guy, we on the phone, and I'm like, I want to run for Miss Dallas. He's like, all right, you should do that. Woke up the next day, some screenshot. We have accepted your application.
I love it.
He said, whoa.
But that's why are you moving so fast? Because
that's how I am, you know. I believe, honestly, at 25, I got 5 years to make this thing pop. And it may not be everybody else's life. But for me, I got 5 years. I'm going back to the workforce, the real workforce. And that just kind of is what it is. Being real with myself. So with me, I'm going to try to treat every day like it's my last. I'm not promised tomorrow. Y'all can play around. Be my guest. But I'm not.
No time to play around, guys.
I'm not. Every day I want my opportunity. I want what's mine. And I'm showing up to collect it. Absolutely. I'm expecting something big to happen every day. How did I win today? I want to know.
Yeah, one thing that's really helping me is my biggest thing this year is do it now. Like when you think about it, when you write it down, don't just journal, don't just, oh, that's a good idea, and then forget the next day. Do it now. Do something to get you closer to where you want to be right now. There's no time like the present, really. There's like no time like the present. I think that really helps with the procrastination that you were mentioning too. Like just procrastination is a killer. Like it's a slow killer, but it's a killer. And then you'll look up one day and be like, how am I 18, 25, 30, 40, 60, 80, and I'm not where I wanted to be, but like, did you act on it? Are you working on it now? So I think that's really important. And, having that it seems like you kind of have a drive to like, you don't waste any time. Like you don't waste any time.
I be trying my best not to waste no time.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, because you never can get it back. You know, time is wasting money. You get that back. Your figure, you can get that back. You know what I'm saying? But your health and your time, those are very hard things to get back. And time you'll never get back. This is the youngest you're going to ever be.
Right.
Right now, in this moment, the youngest you're going to ever be. I don't take those type of things for granted. I think a lot of people do. And life is too short. And in the Bible, it says there's a time and place for everything. And I believe that is definitely true. But we live as if tomorrow is promised.
And it's
the
not.
people that I love, they know I love them. I don't wait till Mother's Day, Father's Day to say that. I love you, bro. Like, my people, they know that.
Mm-hmm.
So I think a lot of people move as if they're going to be woke up tomorrow. They're going to be woke up tomorrow. Like, no. Like, even my ex, they know, like, we'll never get back together, bro. But if I die today, you know, I love you, boy.
Right.
And I think that's just something that's important to me because they think, well, you know, when I get 30, I'm going to settle down. Says who? You want to be outside? Says who?
Mm-hmm.
You know, them drunk drivers, they're serious.
Yeah.
And I've just been around death so much that, like, I don't really play around with it. If I love you, I'm going to tell you I love you. You messed it up, you can't receive it, that's your business.
Mm-hmm.
But me, I was real and I showed up being myself.
Yeah. Kind of how you said being around loss, a lot of loss in your life. How do you navigate, I guess, not sitting in it? Because some people avoid grief, which I don't think is good, but you also shouldn't sit in it.
I'm definitely one of those people that, I'm not going to say avoid it, but, like, I'm super cool on it.
Mm-hmm.
And I've always been like that. Like, since I was a kid, like, my dad sent me to counseling for it because I always been like, Daddy, like, death is the only thing that's promised. Why am I sad about that? We knew they were going to die.
So you're just kind of like, okay, like, let's get to the next thing type of person.
Like, what we going to do about it? Like, yes, we miss you. You not getting up. Like, and I hate to be like, I just don't understand. Like, I'm different.
She's not speaking at the funeral.
Like, don't have me speak. Like, please.
The one place you can't speak is the funeral.
Like, and I was gonna be a coffin confessor. Like, I offered those services.
Way.
I did a whole YouTube promo, pitch, everything. Like, I was like, book me for your funeral. Like, I'm gonna say the stuff that you want to be said. Like, and I'm still taking bookings for that anytime. Send me an email. We can prepay for it. I will speak at your funeral.
Oh my God.
She didn't like none of y'all. Not you. Because I'm just like, bro, they were going to die. You was given a birthday. Which means one day you're going to die. Figure it out. Time is ticking. And people hate when I talk about death because that's just how I am.
Yeah.
But my mama was like that. She's like, girl, I can't wait to die and leave out here. I'm like, dang.
Oh, wow. Mother, don't tell me that.
But she be tired. And like, life is stressful. Like, I get it, girl. Just leave me some money when you go. Do not have me do no GoFundMe. That's going to piss me off.
Oh my goodness. You know, kind of winding down here, a couple more questions for you. I want to talk about how, you know, looking forward into the rest of the year, we're just now wrapping up with quarter 1, but there's still, do my math right, 9 months to get it together to make some things happen. Other than the book, what are some things that you're working on that you want people to keep up with?
Okay, so we are definitely working on the 3rd book. I am running, I'm publicly saying this, I am running for Miss Dallas. Yes, I'm very excited for that pageant. I'm looking for sponsors, but it's sponsors and it's based off of donations. It's really about people showing that showing a generation that it's more to life than what they see on social media. Like, you can really do anything. So people who have the strong push for that. Some of my big sponsors right now is Main Event.
Love that.
Dallas Park and Recreation. You know, so that's real big. Miss Dallas, the 3rd book. I'm having a Men Matter Monday event. So in May, I'm paying for a whole bunch of men to go out and just bowl, do their thing.
Oh, cool.
I'm excited for that. I try to do it every year.
Why do men matter?
Because I want them to love, protect, provide, and we don't give them with a plate. We give them a plate. Here you go. Here you go, Papa. Here goes some shrimp and some pasta.
That's not all it takes.
You know, and I just think, like, our men do matter. Society, we need our men. If I don't need a man, speak for yourself. Yeah. Because, baby, when I get a flat tire, I'm calling 17. Hey, bro, come get me. They're like, don't you got AAA? And I have you. Show up.
Please.
So I'm definitely a daddy's girl, too. So, like, just being around men, being raised by men. I love my men. I love my men. It's like kids and then men get me.
Kids and then men.
Get me. Girl, Nike Tech's haircut. That's me. That's why I shut up. I'm not a
You're not a part of that conversation.
I'm not.
I feel you.
Did you need some? Huh?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's me. That's why I also keep my distance because nah.
Yeah.
But yeah, men matter. I think they need a break, a mental break. A lot of them get told that you can express yourself, and then I'm guilty of it. A woman get mad, now you broke and your mama don't like you. You know, it's just the way that women talk to men. Sometimes when they done told their deepest, darkest secrets. I don't like that.
Yeah.
You know, so when we struggle with our mouth a lot, and we're very abusive when it comes down to our mouth.
Yeah.
So I think it's a cool brain break. Just let them be boys, let them be guys, let them hang out, let them chill, let them vibe. They can't always be emotional like we say that we can't. They can be because they're not always allowed that space.
Definitely. I agree with you 100%. And that comes up in May, that event.
Yes. So Miss Dallas, that come up in May.
How many people run for Miss Dallas?
I don't know. I think they kept it at like 50.
Okay. 1 out of 50 sitting right here speaking it. Okay.
I'm running now. I don't pay my deposit.
That's exciting. When will you know kind of like, I guess, when is the whole thing over?
The whole pageant is in October. So it's a gown, swimsuit. It's a whole ordeal.
Awesome.
So that will take place.
I know you're going to be serving looks. She got some fits, y'all. She got some cute fits. I love them. So we got the book that will be delivered in December.
Yes.
To our special student. And then we have the pageant and that special men's May event. Anything else?
Honestly, I'm probably missing out on some stuff. I'm not gonna lie to you, but I think that's pretty much it. I had something. I may be doing a Dallas tour, but Dallas making it hard. They're making it hard. They're making it hard. I don't like hard stuff, but we're still pushing for that because I want to do something for my city. I love my city, but
will this be a speaking type of tour?
It's gonna be a book tour.
Okay, cool.
A book tour.
Awesome.
So I'm looking at doing it at libraries right now in the summertime. But if not, I'll probably just run something back for the schools, and I'll probably just pick a school in every hood.
Awesome.
I just came up with that right now. So if that happens, that happens.
Hey, you heard it here first. I think the libraries is a really good one though. People are kind of neglecting those these days for obvious reasons.
Well, there feels a lot of funding, and that's like my thing too. Like I want to bring attraction to the libraries right now. It hasn't been the easiest. So like I said, if we can't get it right and tight in the next 30, 45 days, then I'll probably just reach out to schools and doing it there. Awesome.
Well, wherever you end up at, I know that it'll definitely make an impact on the kiddos that you.
And some schools have been trying to book me to do the whole setup again, like the story time, the book signing, and the book reading. And I'm like, just get at me.
Yeah. One thing I wanted to ask you, I forgot to ask you earlier. You've written for a wide, age range. How did you pivot from writing in this one here? I don't want to mess the name up because it's beautiful. Your Daily Ounce of Poka. How did you pivot from writing in that one to the children's book?
I love kids.
Yeah.
I have never had a problem with kids. Changing diapers since I was 4. Love kids, but then I started substituting. And I just be around pre-Ks. I'd be like, yeah, you can repeat stuff, huh? So
I love pre-K. That's my favorite. My first class that I taught was Sunday school, and I did it for pre-K only. And they know a lot. They repeat a lot. They're sponges. They repeat, and they're good at it. So it kind of makes you, again, be mindful of being that role model and paying attention to what you say and do around them.
I love first grade. I love first grade.
Yeah.
They my little hearts. But I worked with first grade in college too. I've been working with kids until they get me. Yeah. Oh my God. I worked at a daycare when I was in college, my 17. And then I worked at an after school program throughout college. So third grade and down was just my little cup of tea.
Yeah.
This is what I did.
The older they get, the more scared. First of all, they're bigger than me. I'm 5'1", y'all. It might not look like it, but I'm 5'1". So the bigger they get, it's like middle school and up. I'm like, whoa, call in the reinforcements. I need someone else around. Like, kiddos are getting crazy these days. Like, I think the amount of energy they have is good, but I think a lot of them, they don't have a sense of direction.
It's discipline.
Yeah, discipline. Like
I walk through hallways all the time. Like, Prince will be like, who is this walking through? Put your pants up. Get off that phone. They be like, who is this girl? I'm like, here, I came to speak. That's like, okay. And that's just me. Like, I'm naturally like that. So I'm happy I don't work in a high school. Like, sir, I got to track me. Girl, I ain't got no kids in high school. I don't work in no high school. Why am I going? Because they know me. They ain't invited me, so I'm going.
I love that.
So it's discipline. But I had walked in. I actually had a tour at our college campus. And I said, quit embarrassing me. Pull your pants up, act like you got some sense, and do it now. He was like, yes, ma'am.
Excuse me.
Come to find out, a week later, I'm in this establishment and I see his father. And me and his father are really cool. And he was like, hey, you know that? And I seen him like, I'm so proud of you. Like, who's this lady? I'm like, you remember me? He was like, I look familiar. He was like, yeah. Seen him again. I'm so proud of you. Seen him again. I'm so proud of you. And his daddy was like, that's my firstborn, right? Or my lastborn, one of them. And I said, no, I didn't. He said, yeah, that's my baby. I said, your son told you I charged him up? He was like, what? I was like, yeah, I told him to put his pants up, get off his phone, quit embarrassing me. Because he's representing me.
Right.
He said, what? He said, thank you so much. It takes a village.
Yeah, it does.
It takes a village. So, I mean, some of y'all won't like it. I'm just not the one for your kids. But you're going to be a great product of society dealing with me.
Yeah.
I'm going to try my best. I'm going to die trying.
Absolutely. I love that. I love that so much. Well, it seems like we've wrapped down to the end here, but I do want to ask you, and I typically ask everyone towards the end, we are here at Never Satisfied Studios, which is a great place to be for not only a platform like mine, but something that you might want to do in the future. Come here. If there's a lot of ways that you can be creative here and express yourself. One of the things I'm doing now is my passion. I don't do this on my typical 9-to-5, but I get to meet wonderful people like Poka. So being here at Never Satisfied Studios, is there anything that you would like that we can kind of offer to you or help you with that you'd like to do?
Y'all can definitely be part of the pageant. Always looking for partners. We're excited. Like I said, based off donations, I don't really care. As long as your heart in the right place, I'm cool.
Of course. Where can our viewers reach out to you, follow you on social media, those kind of things to keep up with everything?
If you look up Poka Speaks, I'll pop up all over Google.
All over Google.
It is kind of scary, but that's me. I kind of want that thing like, when Pitbull was like, I'm so famous, when you search up Pitbull, I pop up before the dog. So I kind of just want that little information that Google have to automatically pop up one day. So I look forward to that. Like that's on my prayer board. Like
awesome.
I want that to be.
Yeah. Do you do prayer boards or vision boards?
Prayer boards.
Prayer boards. What's the difference?
One you see, one you pray.
Right.
Because everything that you want, you don't want it. You don't need it. And sometimes you have to get it to see that. But I do a prayer board, and mine's is like a garden thing. So I write stuff on flowers, and then when God answers, I pick it and I put it in like a little pot that says prayers picked.
Oh, that is so cute.
Or prayers answered, and it's the flowers I picked up. So it also show you like right now in this very moment, God has started giving me everything that I've asked for.
Really,
everything. Don't always feel good, don't always taste good, but everything I asked for, He's giving it to me.
Awesome. That is a blessing. And it's also been a blessing to have you here on the show today. I hope you enjoyed it. Well, that's all we have for episode 4 of The Raw and Uncut as a public speaker. Thank you all for tuning in and see you next time.
Bye, y'all.